Thank you, Greg. Well, we promised you a diverse group of thinkers, artists, writers, academics. And the last of our 5 presenters is Wafa Bilal, who teaches photography at Tisch at NYU. He travels the world exhibiting his work, and it's not just photography, and we're going to get to see some of it, but it is performance art, including the really important work called Domestic Tension that many of you may have seen, when he was sitting in a room having people all over the world shoot paintballs at him. So I'm going to give you Wafa, and he's going to give you his work.
To switch now. Anybody wanna All right. I wanted to start by thanking Deborah Sweet, the word Can't Wait. Also, I wanted to thank the panelists here, and thank you for being here today. The questions for us is there an alternative? To be honest, I don't have an answer to you. But what do I have? I have to agree with my colleagues on the panel that is fundamentalism. It is a product of imperialism. So we both agree with. As an artist, as a human being, as a person who belonged to both Iraq and United States, I grew up in Iraq and in my 20s. I was forced to leave Iraq and come to United States since I was against Saddam's regime. I came here to find a new place for myself, but I was very disappointed by how this comfort zone I exist in is so detached from reality. And what made the matter worse is now I belong to 2 places. One of the comfort zone of United States, when I physically exist in, and the other one is the conflict place where mentally I exist in, and where my family exists as well. That gives me kind of a unique situation to act not as a bridge between these 2 places, but rather an instigator, rather an initiator of platform in order not to bridge these differences, but to allow people to engage in a dialogue. And I think that's what is missing here, is the dialogue about the others and the fears of others. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to engage my fellow citizens in our own comfort zone, in acting and voice our opinion against the injustice in Iraq and elsewhere that's been done by United States and by United States government specifically. So I've done so many artwork in the past, but something after the invasion of Kuwait, and in 2004 there was a dramatic event took place when I lost my brother Haji to a drone attack in Iraq. 3 years later, I did not know what I was doing, but one day in early 2007 I saw a TV interview with an American soldier who was sitting in Colorado directing these drones and dropping missiles, and obviously the soldier was not aware of the psychological and the physical damage that's been done to the Iraqis at all. And that gave me the idea of Now I have to create an artwork, but the artwork does not have to stay within the gallery system and have the privileged access, but I really wanted to create an artwork that reaches people wherever they are. I wanted to use the virtual platform, which we have all almost access to the internet, in order to engage people. And the idea was born there, and we called it Domestic Tension, but at the same time I have the name of it, Shoot an Iraqi. And Shoot an Iraqi, in 2007, I moved my living space and my computer into a gallery place in Chicago and built a robot and connect the robot to a paintball gun and give control to the rest of the planet. For 1 month, I lived there. I received 70,000 shots from people from 136 countries and 80 million hits on the website. What most important out of that, it was the dialogue, and it was the chat room that generated 3,000 pages of dialogue among the people who were shooting and the people who also opposing to shoot. I just going to give you the one quick video of day 30th of that encounter. All right, maybe it doesn't want to work. Let's see. Okay, I could move on to another project I have done. In 2007, as many of you know, the war reached its peak in Iraq, and so many Iraqis start becoming suicide bombers in order to fight the U.S. on the ground. And that phenomenon never existed in Iraq ever. Early on, I got a video game which was released by Al-Qaeda, and the video game called The Night of Bush Capture. And in that video game, you could go and hunt for President Bush and assassinate him if you want to. Then Al-Qaeda took the video game and actually named it The Night of Bush Capturing. By researching, I got to figure out the game was not Al-Qaeda game, it was an American game under the name of Quest for Saddam. And in that game, you go on a mission to assassinate so many Iraqis, and by the way, they all look alike and they have Saddam's face and all speak one word, which is nonsense. And I debated what to do with this in order to raise awareness about how hypocritic we become. We objected to Al-Qaeda game and we accepted the American game, even though they are the same game. So in that game, in Rensselaer Biotechnical Institute, I hacked the game. I inserted myself as the virtual suicide bomber that is going on a mission to assassinate President Bush, and it was not to my surprise or anybody's surprise. Everybody in every branch of the government showed up on the opening night. The school was so afraid on my life. They put 5 bodyguards around me all the time, and I thought this is every artist's dream, 5 bodyguards. But despite that, the show was shut down within 2 hours. After that, we moved it in a gallery place in Troy. Again, the city of Troy that time shut it down. Okay, we'll skip videos since we don't have a lot of time and they are not working. A recent project, early 2010, the Elizabeth Foundation of the Art asked me to do a project commemorating the Iraqis that spent their life in this world, and American soldiers as well. I doubt myself I could create a monument that could collect, most likely will collect dust somewhere in a gallery or somewhere else, a museum. And I ask myself, how is it possible you could commemorate 100,000 people who lost their lives? So in return, I did a performance project, 24 hours, after tattooing the Iraqi names in permanent visible ink. Within 24 hours, I dedicated one dot for each Iraqi that died in Iraq in invisible ink. So under normal circumstances, you don't see the dot, but under black light, you will see the dots of the Iraqis who lost their life. And this is basically what you see under black light. And currently, I am working on another project which is called the Ashes Project. This is in a way trying to have some hope that Iraq will become the place we used to know it, the place we used to call home. I'm very surprised by how we no longer register these destruction image of Iraqi places or homes, schools. So I start collecting these images from the internet, and in a way, therapeutic, meditative way, I start building these images in small scales. And after the set is done, I spray them with human ashes, literally to insert the human aura into the art of work. And at the end, I wanted to say the world cannot wait, and we cannot wait. And I think we all could bring changes through our own personal narrative. And even though it might be a small step, but collectively it will be a large step to bring change. Thank you so much.